Good morning everybody, this is Stephen House and this is Full Time Devils. This is your MUFC Transfer Daily. And wow, still wounded from the Liverpool game, still absolutely devastated at the result. It still feels like we've come away with a defeat rather than coming away with a point against a top 4 opponent. But it's not a good result for us, is it? We've got to be looking to win your home games and not lose your away games. But just as much as a result, this is for Liverpool, was the result for us at Anfield. And it's not being played out like that in the press, as usual. But what can you do? Anyway, let's get stuck into the transfers, shall we? The first one that we've got this morning is that the Mirror think that we're going to go in for Matic. There's absolutely no sources on this in the Mirror. It's just like, I reckon that it might be going for Matic. I don't know if they've just looked at Schneiderlin going and decided that because we're selling a midfielder, means that we need a midfielder. It makes no other sense apart from that, in all honesty. Yes, obviously Matic worked with Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, but that is it. There's no, it's pure conjecture from the Mirror, and they're really turning into the gutter press with some of their reporting of late, and especially some of their back page headlines, which have been completely and utterly shocking. Sevilla fancy a little bit of Rashford. The Sun are determined to send Rashford out on loan, despite Jose Mourinho saying in a press conference Sam Johnson's going to be the only member of the first team squad that is allowed to go on loan. So why are the Sun so determined to send Rashford out on loan? They tried to send him to West Ham on loan, or they rumoured that he was going to West Ham on loan, and now they're saying that he's going to go to Sevilla. Why would we send a player who's smashing it in the Premier League when he plays, learning his trade, still extremely young and early in his Manchester United career? Why would we send him on loan to Spain? He's got Premier League experience. It's a harder league. Why would he step down to go and play for Sevilla? He's playing games. He's played 3 out of the last 5 games or something like that. Like, this is a player that's certainly behind Zlatan in the pecking order. I don't understand the problem. I think Marcus Rashford is probably as happy as can be at Manchester United. There's clearly no one wanting to get out and get game time. He knows his place. He knows what he's got to do. He's learning off one of the best in Zlatan. It's absolute madness. And Jose said no one's going on loan. So why would anyone go on loan? Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, the next one that we've got, this is also in the Sun as well, but I reckon there might be an element of truth to this. Or the Sun have just gone, this makes sense, let's write about it because it could happen. That might be the case, because I've not heard anything along these lines. And it's Ashley Young being the latest player to be linked with China. The Sun obviously just love a Manchester United rumour, and they're saying that Ashley Young could be wanted by Chinese Super League side Shandong Lueng. I have no idea who any of the Chinese Super League sides are, but this transfer does make sense. Ashley Young's still a big name, played for Manchester United, won the league with us, so this is a player that I think does sort of attract a little bit when you see the likes of Pella and the money that they're earning. I think Ashley Young could go there and probably get about $500,000 a week, judging by what they're paying in terms of salary. So this one does make a little bit of sense to me. This is a transfer that I do see happening, but just because I see it happening doesn't mean that it's going to happen, doesn't mean that there's anyone in motion trying to make this happen. He was linked with a move to Watford back in December, earlier this month. So I think that one does make a little bit more sense. But just because transfers make sense doesn't mean that they'll happen, because a lot of the stuff that's gone to China doesn't really make a lot of sense. So let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Best replacement for Carrick. There's hours and hours and hours of footage. There's several players that are a good replacement. Oliver Burgess says send Ashley Young to China for 20 mil or something. It's not a bad one, is it? Sell Ashley Young, get Shaqiri. Honestly, the money would help us. Really? Do we look like we're hurting for cash? I don't know where you got that from. What happened with Carrick yesterday? He had a bad day at the office. It happens to all of us. He's a good backup option for Valencia. Who is? Ashley Young? No, just because he runs around a lot doesn't mean he's a good backup option. Wrong graphic today. Is it? About now? There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've fixed the graphic. Sorry about that. Can everyone share the video, please, and get as many in it as possible, and then we'll get talking to you guys in the comments. Sign Cruz says Nakul. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Zlatan to China. Why would we send Zlatan to China? Zlatan's got 19 goals for Manchester United, 14 in the league. Why would he go to China? What about Luke Shaw? What we're talking about here? We just need Griezmann and a new left back. Why do we need a new left back? Shaw's injured at the moment, but once he comes back, once he gets back to full fitness, surely he's going to be happy days. Please don't just put what about and then a player's name. You need to ask me a question. Fosu Mensah has to go on loan, says Andre. I think you're right. I think he probably does have to go on loan, but he's not going to go on loan. 3:30 a.m. in Florida. What do I think about Memphis going? What I heard back end of November was that he was going to Everton. And it was going to be a permanent deal. I've not heard that that's changed, but I haven't heard that that's still on. So as far as I know, I have no idea. Akshay says Matic is a good signing. Rooney stay for another year. David said David. I think we've all sort of made our mind up that Rooney's going, hasn't it? Because there hasn't really been a lot of talk that Rooney's going to go, in all honesty. So it just seems like everyone's sort of made their mind up that that's going to happen. I'm not sure that is going to happen, in all honesty, but I guess we'll find out. Andres Pereira is the answer to our midfield. I didn't see your name. It was going a bit quick. He's not really a central midfielder. He's definitely better in the number 10 or off one of the wings. So no, I don't think he is the answer to our midfield. Is Borthwick Jackson coming back from loan? Well, 2 weeks ago, Scott told he was coming back last week, but I haven't seen anything about him coming back at all. So I don't know. I heard he was. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. We need a world-class centre-back, but who? Says, I think it was Rory. I would happily go with Rojo and Bay at the moment. I think if you want another centre-back, you need to get rid of them, a couple, I think. We will find out, won't we? Would I take Payet with his attitude? No. A lot of people are making this assumption here with Payet, and I think Payet just doesn't smack me as a Mourinho signing. That sort of attitude and that sort of work rate just doesn't smack of a Mourinho signing for me at all. Am I feeling under the weather? I was ill yesterday. I'm ill today as well. Yeah, so I'm not well. Shaw gets hurt too much. He broke his leg. Sprinting through where a player hit him above the ball. You can't just say he gets hurt too much. He's hardly been injury prone, is he, when someone goes through you and breaks your leg? Come on, man. Tuanzebe needs to go on loan. Someone said, I didn't see the name. I don't know if he'll be going out on loan either. Payet is 30. Is he actually 30 as well? I knew he was quite old, but yeah, 30. Yeah, no. Why would we want Payet at 30? Borthwick Jackson did good. He didn't let us down last year, did he? When he got games, so I wouldn't mind seeing him. When do I see Sean Goss getting into the first team squad? Well, him and Tuanzebe are they're training with the first team squad at the moment, but I don't know. I think it'll be a while before you see him in there. I'd be surprised if they get game time this year, but it could happen. We were sitting on it at the same time last year. We were sitting on nobody doing anything in terms of bringing through the youth. There'd been a load of them that had been on the bench, but it had been, I think it was February and Rashford broke through. I can't remember when everyone else started to break through. Why is Evra going Palace? Is United hurting for cash? No. But I don't know if he is going Palace. I haven't seen anything that makes me think that that's concrete that he's going to Palace. No, I'd be shocked at that. PK to United. I think PK is an excellent centre-half. I don't think you're getting him out of Barcelona, though. Do I think Pogba should have come off against Liverpool? I think he should have, actually, Sam. I think it would have been a good one, but I think there's a couple of players that just don't get subbed. And I think Zlatan's one, I think Pogba's one. So I wasn't expecting it was going to happen. Is there any validity to the rumours that Evra could come back to the club? I think the validity comes from the fact that he would come back to United. And I know that he would come back to United. I don't think United have been in for him. I think that's the difference. Obviously, you need everything to come together to make it happen, don't you? If the player wants it, but the club don't want it, it doesn't happen. If the club want it and the player don't want it, it doesn't happen. In this case, I think Evra wants it, but I don't think the club want it. But I also don't see him just coming back to Palace. So I don't know. Last night, proof we need a replacement for Carrick. If we get Cruz-like player, I still feel Carrick could do a job off the bench. Probably Joshua. Yeah, I think that's not a bad shout. Cruz is he's probably the top of my list for midfielders, in all honesty. Oliver Burgess. Memphis needs to go on loan. I'm pretty sure it won't be a loan. It'll be a permanent deal if he goes anywhere. And I think Leon and Everton look like the forerunners at the moment. Composure of United when Matic plays is awesome. Matt's a very composed player. He's an excellent player. Why sign Evra when his legs have gone? I didn't see the name. Because he loves Manchester United and because he's an absolute character. And I think being part of a football club is more than just a 90 minutes on a Saturday. I think being part of a football club is what you do in training, your attitude to games, your attitude to training. And I think if you can bring somebody like that, that's definitely going to help Luke Shaw. That's going to teach Luke Shaw. Listen, Paddy Evra was the best left back in the world at some point in his career. That's valuable knowledge and experience that he can pass down to younger players. And if you've got the opportunity to do that, a guy that loves the club and he's not going to cost you a transfer fee, then you get him. It's as simple as that, especially when we need someone as cover. Would I like Lindelof? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Lindelof stuff seems to have come all from Benfica. They was pushing it the hardest. They was the ones that really wanted it. And it seems like United didn't really care about him, in all honesty. And I'm glad, because all of the scouting that I did on him, he just didn't seem like a good defender. Great with the ball, got excellent distribution, charges out of defence right. And all I can think of is he's a Swedish John Stones. And that's not good enough. Do I think we could get Saul? I think they're a selling club, and I think that we would be able to get anybody that we wanted from them, in all honesty. Do I think that Sanchez is leaving Arsenal? I believe that Arsenal think that they're going to get him to sign a new contract. I would take him in a heartbeat at United. Absolutely. Do I think Fellaini should start? No, I don't. We just need new players. No, we don't. Ryan, name me 5 new players that we need. Why do we need new players? That side yesterday was good enough to get 3 points. It just didn't. Is Bakayoko good enough or just hyped? I think he's legit. Yeah, I think he's very good. Would United needs to push for a deal for Bale? That's ambitious. I like where you're thinking though. That is the sort of one that I could see United going for, and I think that is pretty much the only one of the transfers that I can go, yes, that would definitely improve United and the way we play football. But again, you go, right, well, who's not gonna play then? Someone's missing out here. Fosu Mensah will be a certain starter given he gets the game time. Again, yeah, it's another one. You've got to give him game time, and you've got to allow him to grow into the role. Someone mentioned, why didn't Fosu Mensah come on? I'm not sure, in all honesty. I thought playing it on the ground was working for us. I thought we switched it up to going direct a bit too soon, and I thought Rashford definitely could have got in behind that defence yesterday. But we'd already started going with that direct route, and he brought on Fellaini, and to be fair, Fellaini did all right. So you can't really argue at that. We just didn't get the other goal that we needed. Do we really need to sign anybody at the moment? I would say no, in all honesty. Sadly, Bale won't be leaving Madrid. No, I don't think he will. But always say you don't know. Strange things happen. Fellaini haven't a renaissance. You mean is having? I won't go that far. Rooney for Ross Barkley or Lukaku swap deal. Wouldn't mind Lukaku. Ross Barkley's just overhyped. Nothing, in all honesty. Talk is cooled about Griezmann. Any news? It's probably because it's not happening this month, and everyone's written everything that they need to write about it. So why would we keep talking about whatever you need? If it's happening, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in July. So why just keep dragging it up now just to say the same old thing? Do I agree the league has gone? I think it probably has gone now. Yeah, I think that 2 points was too much, in all honesty. Has anyone seen any of the fan cams from yesterday? Did you see the fan cam comp yesterday? If you have, go and check. If you haven't, go and check it out and see what you think. We don't need players. We have a great team. Just need to play better together. Yeah, and do you know what? It's just time. It's just going to take time. We're starting to get used to Jose. He's starting to get used to us. And I think with time, I think we're going to be fine. We was the better team by far yesterday. Liverpool came and they tried to Burnley us, didn't they? They tried to they didn't want to play whatsoever. And Jose was right when he came out in his presser and he said afterwards, we got criticised for going and being defensive over there. We didn't get... hopefully Klopp's going to get criticised for the way they came in, because they came defensive and direct. So there. Can we finish top 2? I think we can come second, yeah. I mean, you look at the league table right now and you see they're actually not that far away from us. We've got a fair few easy games. If we can go 4-5, if we can go 4 or 5 games straight wins, and then we're going to be right in the mix. Seth says, I would like Evra for backup. I would love Evra for backup. Pogba lost us the game, says Ridu. I think that's a bit harsh, but I think his mistake was costly. But I think Jones was also at fault for that, I think, a little bit. Damian is a good fill-in player. Again, another good backup, but I don't think he's first choice. Lee Bolton says, can't blame Pogba, everyone's entitled to a shit game. I would agree on that. And he's been great. I'm not happy with people rewriting history on Pogba already, saying he's had a shit season, because that's simply not the case. He had a bad game yesterday, no doubt whatsoever about that. But I've been very happy with his contribution this season. Someone says, City outside top 4 this season. Possibly. You think Arsenal, are they on the brink? I think Arsenal could fall out, in all honesty. And you've got Tottenham and Liverpool. I think it's going to be between us and Tottenham who handles Europa League better, or maybe who gets out of Europa League quickest, and is probably going to last the best, I think, with it. So we will find out. Anyway, that is me done for this morning. Thank you all for joining me. Go and check out all the fan cams and the fan cam compilation and everything else that's up out on YouTube, including Jose Mourinho's press conference on our YouTube channel, on this channel that you're watching on right now. Keep it lots of Full-Time Devils. We've got all sorts of stuff coming out today. And the under-23s go to Anfield tonight as well for the game against Liverpool at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be covering that. So thank you for watching, and see you later.